Hey everyone, Saturday morning, 9 a.m. How you doing? I have my room set up a little bit differently this morning because we're going to do some rolling. I was just looking for my rolling balls. They're way over here. Okay, so I've got a couple. It's going to be good. If you want, then you can use a tennis ball, you can use a trigger point ball, whatever you want, but just grab something. If you don't have anything, then I can modify. Just let me know what instance you're in, and if you have a ball. If you don't, then we can still do some stretches. But while I wait for everyone to come on, I thought this would be a good time to think about what you believe in. There are a lot of instances happening right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. And hi, Kim. Hi, Jenna. Hey, bestie. Um, yeah, I think that this is an opportunity to really learn about what you believe in. If you have faith in something, what is it that is getting you through these hard times? For me, I believe that there's a higher power. Just only started calling it God. Um, I believe in you, Bessie. You're cute. But yeah, I think that that's something to explore if you haven't already. What's going to get you through all of this? Hey, Brandy. What's going to get you through all of this? Are you focusing on, worrying about fear and worrying about what's going to happen without having some sort of hope and trust in your heart that it's all going to work out? Or are you actually like, okay, maybe this is happening for a reason. Maybe I need to take a step back and evaluate, what's happening. Is this supposed to be happening? Like, I know it's sounds bizarre, especially if you don't really believe in things happening for a reason. You would think, like, how can you say that? How can you say that this is all happening perfectly or in divine timing or whatever? I get it. But yeah, it's just an opportunity to think about why we're here. What are you doing? I talked about this yesterday. What's your focus? What's your intention? Why are you here? Why are you on this earth? Do you want to, I don't know, would you rather live in a life of magic and excitement and believing in possibilities and opportunities? Or would you rather be completely realistic and, I just go to work and I do my thing? And that's okay. I guess I kind of just made fun of it, but that's okay. But as long as you have hope in your heart that everything, I guess, is going to work out, and that you truly feel fulfilled in doing what you do, day-to-day stuff. So yeah, just some possibilities, things to think about. Oh, my guy popped up. Hello. Thanks, Gary. He said, so brilliantly said. Sometimes I feel like it gets all mumble jumble because it's just coming from my heart, but yeah, I don't know. Honestly, like, I have a movie that was made about Anne Frank, and I don't know the full details, whether this movie is completely correct, but it was obviously Anne Frank's family went into the concentration camp, and her dad was separated. Obviously, he's a man, from the women. So it was Anne Frank, her sister, and then her mom, and they were all in a specific spot together. I think, I can't remember if the two sisters were together and then the mom was separate, but anyway, dad was always the one, he had the faith, he had the plan, he was focused, he knew what he wanted. He knew that he had to survive this. And but fortunately, um, he was the only one who survived. And I'm getting emotional. But so Anne died only 2 weeks before it was over. And I thought, shit, if she had just hung on for like 2 more weeks, like what would have happened, right? And I wonder if it was because her faith was lost. I don't know. I don't know what was going on in her head, and I really want to read the book. But I don't know. I think their dad had like some crazy hope and faith that everything was just going to work out. So maybe that's what we need, some faith. Yeah, something to think about. Oh, I'm getting super emotional on Saturday morning right before we're going to roll our chest out. Shane says, can't be afraid to make mistakes. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I really value both of you because you're both very creative. Obviously, Jenna, bestie, super creative as well. So sometimes we need a little bit of an imagination to get us through stuff like this. So I'm learning stuff like that from you all, and I can teach you realistic things about how to take body pain away. So here we go. I'm excited. So do you all have a ball? If you don't, that's okay. But this is going to be better and easier if you do have a ball. If you don't want to do this right now, I know it's Saturday morning, 9:00, then that's okay too. Just watch it later and then you'll at least know what you're doing. I had a lot of questions and curiosities about how to relieve frozen shoulder, upper back and neck pain as well. And the best way that I have found to relieve that is by using a ball. It's super effective. It's basically like getting a massage, like someone pushing on your chest and your shoulders and your back to help relieve any tension and discomfort. So I'm just going to show you exactly what I do. I don't typically get massages just because of various reasons. I'm trying to teach my friend Terry how to massage me. So Terry, if you're watching, thank you for helping me relieve pain and stress in my body. But up until that point, I'm going to use a ball, and I'm actually going to use this one because I find it's a little bit denser than a tennis ball. But if you haven't been rolling for a while, I would recommend using a tennis ball because it has just enough tension just enough tension that you're not going to hurt your ribs. Like if you don't have a lot of muscle, sometimes a really dense ball will kind of just dig into your bones and ribs, especially because we're going to do a bit of rolling on the back here too. And you want to be very gentle. You want to be very cognizant, very aware of what your body is doing. Hi, Gladys. You always want to have, again, focus, intent. Why are you doing what you're doing? You don't want to be stretching or rolling or doing anything. I don't even know if that makes sense. I can't say it. But yeah, just be calm. Be calm as much as possible when you're trying to roll and stretch and treat your body right. You can even like warm up by doing some dancing or arm swings or deep breathing. I was doing some deep breathing again this morning because I woke up kind of feeling a bit wound up because I don't think I was breathing enough yesterday. So the reason why we're going to use a ball, and I'm going to start with the chest, is because what happens when the upper back gets really tight is everything starts to round forward. So you can see how my shoulder is really far forward here. And my head has even come forward too. So in reality, you want your shoulders back and your head and neck in alignment as well. So I showed that a couple of days ago, how to get the proper alignment of where your chin and your head should be in space. So taking your little finger, putting it under your clavicle or your collarbone here, and then doing the same with your thumb. And then putting your pointer finger up, and that's actually where your head should be. So you shouldn't be far like this, just nice and gentle like that. So that's actually where your spine should be in space. So like I was saying, when the shoulders come forward, everything gets really tight in here. All the muscles get super tight, and then that creates a long a lengthened muscle in the back, and those muscles are all trying to pull you back. But if they're constantly trying to pull back, that's when they eventually gas out and they scream at you and they say, hey, I'm really sore up here, back here, around here. So typically the cause is the front. We're all very forward, texting, computing, even sleeping like this. So it makes sense that everything's really tight in the front. So we need to start there. Let's work smarter, not harder. Let's treat the cause, not the symptom. Cause is here, symptom is the back. So we're going to start with that today. So there you go, a little rundown about how everything sort of comes to be. Again, my space is a little bit limited, so I wanted to at least give you a spot here on my wall so that you can see where I'm rolling, how I'm rolling, all of that. So grab your ball. Let's go over to the Paris wall. We've got Paris again here. So we're going to obviously balance. So choose one side over the other. I'm going to show you on this side because then I can still face you. So you just take the ball, put it anywhere around your shoulder, so around your clavicle here, and around shoulder, even down into the pec. So this is the pec major, up into subclavius, and then down and even into the anterior deltoid if you want to do that, because that's typically affected too. But let's just start around here and around pec major. So put it wherever you want to start, and then just push against the wall like this. There isn't really much science to it. You just pick a spot, put it there, and then you hold. So again, be very gentle. If you feel like it's an uncomfortable pain, please stop, reassess, put it somewhere else. So mine was here. I'm going to go into my shoulder a little bit more here. Oh, hi, Brandy. Oh, never mind. Keep going. Pause. So if you can see, maybe it would actually be better because then you can see the ball where it is. There we go. A little fluorescence. So you can just roll from one spot to the next, but when you found a spot, just stay and position yourself there. You can see my head a little bit. Can you hear the stuff going on upstairs? My housemates, they're all upstairs. Which one? Someone just came on. Karen? I'm not sure. Anyway, so what we're doing is got a ball, we're finding a spot on the chest, and then we're just holding that ball, pushing against the wall. So this is helping to relax all of those front chest muscles that create that internal shoulder forward posture that no one wants to be in. Posture is my favorite. And if your posture's off, everything's off. Your nerve conduction, so you can't actually get the firing from your brain down into the areas that it needs to be. So if the shoulders are too far forward, then maybe you have digestive problems because the stomach, I think, comes out of the thoracic, 10th thoracic vertebrae back here. So if you're forward, that vertebrae is now misaligned. So you may not be able to digest food properly. You may get indigestion, acid reflux. But once you put that nerve back in its spot with that vertebrae moving, then your digestive system actually is a lot better. It's pretty crazy how everything is completely connected. When you're doing this, you can even do a few deep breaths into it. That helps to really open everything up as well. Because again, we really want to open up the front of the body. We're all like this as a society. It's crazy. Like even to the point of the diaphragm not being able to expand. The diaphragm is what's underneath the lungs. And it helps to massage the abdominal and internal organs. So if it's stuck up here, then it doesn't give that nice peristalsis or that nice movement to help digestive flow. So you want your diaphragm to be able to move as as freely as possible. And when we're stuck like this, everything gets really tight up in here. So we need to open up. If you don't have a ball and you're tuning in, then something that you can do is opening up the front of your chest like this, keeping your arm as straight as possible and your hand flat on the wall, and then trying to push a little bit forward, and then that helps to open up this spot. You have to sit there or stand there for 15 to 30 seconds because this type of static stretch, you need that time for the brain to be able to understand that it's getting stretched out. Whereas with a ball, it takes a little less time. So in terms of efficiency, I like to just get it done. Use the ball. So how you feeling? Did you find a few good spots? You can stand here for, 15 seconds to 30 seconds. You can stand here for up to a minute if you want. I would say do this a couple of times a day, especially if you're getting any numbness or tingling into your hands. This is an important spot to really roll out. Again, you can go into anterior deltoid, which is the front of the shoulder, which gets really tight, especially because it does this motion. Terry, did you hear me? I commented that you're going to give me massages. We're going to trade these soon. She said, oh my God, I love your videos. I love you. So this one I'm just doing right on my shoulder. Be careful on that one because there's a few extra bones, like bony prominences that are around there that could hurt a little bit if you're a little too aggressive or if you're rolling on top of them. What you should feel is a squishiness of the muscle. So if you don't feel a bit of squishy, that means you're out of bone, which isn't ideal. So just reassess, find a different spot, roll again, maybe change your pressure. Don't push in as hard. That's a good one. So this will help to relax your neck too. So it'll help put you into proper posture. How you doing? Saturday morning party. That's fun. Okay, so we do the other side. Just like squeeze down. So the same spot that I'm rolling. This one's really good. Move your neck around. I hear a few little clinks in my neck. You feeling anything weird? You feeling relief? Relaxation? Do you feel more calm? Does your body relax? That's what happens to me when I roll. Is my mind starts to relax because I'm reducing my sympathetic nervous system, putting myself into fight or flight. Can you see enough? I'm right here now, so I'm right into my shoulder. So there's a big fleshy spot here where your pec major connects. So getting into that one. I'm using a bit of force, like I'm kind of pushing into the wall, into the ball. So if you want to do that, you can. If it's too much, just ease off. Listen to your body. It's very important right now. Oh, that's a good one. I can even feel that in my back. I can feel that here. And I think that's because I'm relaxing this shoulder, so I'm helping it to rotate back. And your lats, which are those huge muscles on the back, if you've ever seen a bodybuilder, those rotate the shoulder in as well. So if you're relaxing here, you're indirectly relaxing all the other muscles that internally rotate that shoulder, like the lats. It's pretty crazy. I'm just going to do my shoulder again, right here. Maybe I'll even pull this down. You can see anterior delt is this one. Do you feel any numbness or tingling? I do a little bit. So a little bit on my little finger and part of my ring finger. So on obviously the left hand, but here, I've talked about thoracic outlet syndrome before, and that's when the shoulder and the neck get really tight and rotated forward, and then they they clamp off that brachial plexus, which is the nerves and arteries and veins that travel from the neck all the way down into the arm and into the hand. So if that's really tight, then you're going to start to get numbness and tingling. Hi, Miriam. Good morning to you, too. Thanks for tuning in. This one's kind of special for you. And Chloe, too. I haven't seen her yet, but she might be tuning in later. She got a little guy. So, Miriam, these are really good to start with if you do have frozen shoulder. So what happens with frozen shoulder is the scapula, like the bone just behind your shoulder, it gets really tight. Excuse me. So you aren't able to move your shoulder like this or forward or lift your arm properly. So relaxing the front of the shoulder is going to indirectly help the back of the shoulder and help to unstick that spot. Joe, hi Joe. Fun. Okay, and again, if you don't have a ball, just stretch your arm out like this and try and ease into the stretch. You don't want it to be too crazy. I feel like this light that I put here is like blocking my light. Not much. So stretching like this will help to open up the front of the shoulder. So you want to, because we've been so much like this, you want to try and get like this. You want your arms back, your chin tucked, and everything to open up the front of the chest as much as possible, because this is the culprit. Do you feel any more movement in your vertebrae? I feel a little bit in my thoracic. Okay, so the next one that I want to do, let me just check for more comments. David, good morning. Okay, so next one I want to do with you is we're going to relax. Sorry, one more drink, my sexy man. Is you're going to relax and roll the outside of your shoulder. That's where your lats insert. I told you they rotate the shoulders internally as well. And your teres major, which also rotates your shoulders in, and your teres minor actually rotates them out. And sometimes teres minor, even though it doesn't rotate them in, it gets really tired. So you're just going to find your wall spot, and then you can kind of just place your ball right here. So against all of those muscles, like kind of on the very edge of your arm. So you can find that spot. Your ball might fly over across the room, but give it a try. And that'll help to relax all of those internal rotators. And you can kind of just assess, evaluate, how does it feel? If you're right on top of the bone, just be careful. That's your infraspinatus, which rotates your shoulder out. So you can do that. But if you can bring that ball a little bit lower than that bone, that scapula bone, then that'll get you right on top of that teres major and lat muscle. I can feel it on me. It's like it's kind of like stair steps. or something. So give that a try. You can even sort of roll. Ooh, like was a clunk in there. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, there's a few good spots in there. My shoulders are a lot more rounded forward than I thought. I massage like this, which isn't the best. I should be massaging like this. But that's also why I have trouble with all that internal rotation and tightness and neck and all that stuff too. So I'll show you again where I am. So I'm just below the scapula here. And then you also want it around here. So hold this again for 15 to 30 seconds or whatever feels best for you. And you can even kind of pull into the stretch. Like if you want to stretch your back, I'm stretching my QL, which is my quadratus lumborum. It brings the ribs and the hips up together. So if you have an exaggerated lower back curve or hyperlordotic curve, then your quadratus lumborum will be really tight too. So I utilize every second that I'm stretching. So again, I'm pushing here, but I'm also stretching my low back here. How does that feel? Do you feel a bit of relief? Now you can go to the infraspinatus, which is on top of the scapula. So that'll be typically pretty tight if it has to keep pulling your shoulders back. It just gets really tired. You can move up to right on top of the infraspinatus. I didn't want to get into any exercises again today because I'm all about setting a really good foundation. So if you're just going to go to the gym without any prep work and you start lifting weights, there's no doubt that you're eventually going to have an injury if you don't take the time to stretch. If your posture is out of alignment, then you will forever have injuries if you don't take care of it. Like that's the reality. I just want everyone to know, like nobody goes into the gym, athletes, everyone, nobody goes into the gym like fully like ready to rock and roll. Like you have to do some prep work. You have to do maintenance, whether it's the day before or the day of or right after a workout, whatever it is. You need to show your body some love. If you're asking your body to do a lot of crazy things, then you have to treat it properly before and or after. So there you go. Some truth to the situation. So I'm back here. Okay, just for time's sake, I'm just going to do a little bit on the other side. This stretching it could last you like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Like it really depends on how much you want to stretch and roll. I find that this is the best. Like I know how to do stretches, but I don't know if stretches for the upper body are as beneficial as just grabbing a ball and rolling. So that's the truth from the massage therapist who's also done fitness shows and has been working out for 10 years consistently. I have forever and always tried to figure out ways to stretch and be more efficient at the gym or functionally, like running. So I'm still over here, right there. So how are you doing? Does anyone have any concerns, any pain? I'll take that as a no, but you can always message me after. Again, right there. Oh, it feels so good. You can get a few little cracks in my back. I even feel that up into here and into my neck. Again, with frozen shoulder, you really want to um, stretch and roll and relax and almost like dig into all the areas around your scapula, because the fascia is just taking over. It's like it's covering up your scapula so that it can't move. So if you work, stretch, and roll everything around that scapula, then it's going to be able to move again. I don't think frozen shoulder is a thing that is forever and always. It's just you have to know the right things to do, and you have to do them consistently. So, Miriam, I know we talked about your frozen shoulder. This is something you now want to do every day. Sounds like, God, every day you have a million things to do, but it's like, right now we don't. This is a perfect opportunity for all of us to really put focus and care into our bodies. I don't know if you can hear that. It's like rolling. Oh. I'm also doing a stable squat. My legs hurt. Okay. How's that feeling? You feel good? Oh, I'm working up a sweat. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was standing there squatting. Yeah, upper chest. We did that. We did into the shoulder. We did around the scapula. Hello, says Joe. That's funny. So you want to roll all up in here. Be careful because there's joints here. You can even do posterior deltoid if you want, which is connecting your arm back here. You can do your infraspinatus, which is on top of your scapula because that typically gets tight. And then you can do your rhomboids, which are here. They're right in between your scapula. So they do this motion and pull you back. So they can get really tight if the chest is way too tight as well. So, okay, was that good? Did you want more? I feel like everyone's sleepy today, but that's okay. So try those. Give that a whirl. Use your tennis ball. Ask me questions if you want, if you have anything that you feel like you're confused about. But rolling the front of the chest around the subclavius and the clavicle, and then down into the shoulder, the anterior deltoid, pec major right here, and then that'll indirectly affect the pec minor. You can even roll into your shoulder if that's what you want. Joe says, we all have 24 hours in a day. It's what we do with them. We have made time. Time us also. I'm not sure what that means, but maybe we have us time. Made use of the time. Not sure. Miriam, so we weren't supposed to squat, LOL. You can squat. Probably feels really good. You're welcome, Gladys. I'm glad you tuned in all the way from Scotland. Thank you. Oh, lots of cracks, Miriam says too. Oh boy. I know, it's crazy. So yeah, I want you to give this a whirl, mostly in the chest. That'll indirectly help the shoulders, and then that'll bring them back. That'll help your neck sit normally. It'll help any neck discomfort as well. Again, doing into the Teres major, minor, lats right here, posterior deltoid, which is on the shoulder, infraspinatus, which is on top of the scapula bone, and then rhomboids. So doing that. So it might take you a little while. It might not take you very long, but try that for today. Do some deep breathing, do some nice stretching, do some rolling, try and get everything in realignment and have fun with it. Just, I don't know, do it a couple times and see what's happening. Oh, make time for us, Joe says. Thanks. Keep safe. You too, Gladys. Love you lots. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate you tuning in on a Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to do some lower body rolling. So if you have a roller, I want you to grab it. If you don't, I'm going to think about how I can show you more stretches for that. But roller is key. So I have this one, so it's 3 parts. I'm probably going to use the gray one. It's a little bit tough, but it feels really nice. This one has a little bit more, well, it has ridges in it, so that is interesting. And then I also have this, which you can roll your legs. So if you have a rolling pin even, and you don't have something like this, then bring that as well. Bring your ball, because we'll probably do some glute rolling as well. Again, I want to set your foundation really nicely before you start to do too much strengthening, because then if you do the strengthening before the relaxation, then you're just setting yourself up for a bit of failure. If you're not doing the exercise properly, then you're gonna have to unlearn and then relearn what the exercise is actually supposed to do, or how you're supposed to be in it, how everything comes together. So Janice says hydrate. Yes, don't forget your water. Water is key. And I'll see you tomorrow at 9. Have a great day. Get outside. Drink your water. Okay, bye.